Hey, it's Uncle Joe Hikes. We are at Gooch Gap, and what we're going to do is walk backwards to Justus Creek. This is more or less a training hike. I've been doing a whole lot of pull-ups and not enough push-outs. Which means I've been pulling up to the table, not pushing out of it. So yeah, gotta start getting back in hiking shape. Holidays are over, eating's over, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the new reroute around, because the trail used to go through here, big camping area. We're gonna go back that way. All right, Cooper Gap. We're not going that far, probably about half of that. So here we go. You may hear some voices over off to my right. That's John and Sharon. Hiked with them, that's why I didn't film a whole lot between here and the shelters. Turn off for the shelters right back there. And as it turns out, they are the couple that I met when Bucky the deer hiked with us. So they're the ones who kind of gave us some of the story on Bucky. And I asked them if he was still around, and they said they haven't seen him. And kind of afraid he probably was on somebody's dinner table. But she's like, well, I hope a young fella shot him and not an adult. So maybe Bucky became a young fella's first deer. But we don't know. I'd like to think maybe he's still out there somewhere. As you can see, you got a little snow up here. A lot of it's melting off this morning. There was a fella posted online that he said up to 3 inches up on Springer. So it's hard to say. We're not terribly far from Springer. We're about 15 miles, give or take. But yeah, they got a little snow up here, and it broke out this morning, and it's nice and sunny. But it's kind of nice. Nothing on the trail really. Trail's a little bit damp as stuff starts to melt. I saw some ice. Of course, saw some icicles on the overhangs coming in to crossing over Woody Gap. So kind of have chilly up here. It's actually feels really nice right now. It's probably mid 40s, but as long as the wind's dying down, feels really good. Sun's warming you up a little bit when you can get in it, so that's nice. Creek's running pretty good this morning. No camping there. Obviously people had been going down and camping down by the creek. So close it off, let it grow back a little bit. Got some more snow here. We're kind of on a northwest facing slope. So that means we're getting where the sun doesn't really get right in on it. So makes for keeping the snow around a little bit longer. And a little double track here. Looks like that goes up to maybe a camping spot. A little draw there. But yeah, been beat out a lot. It looks like maybe some trees came down and disturbed it. Something maybe, I don't know. Well, yeah, keep on rolling. It's weird how you can remember certain things. I think I remember getting a shot of this tree as I was hiking this, going toward Gooch on my section hike. I remember that tree being down. We're still making our way to Justus Creek. And over here on the south facing side, and there's just no sign of snow unless you look down in these crevices here, then you can see in the shade little pockets of it, but that's about it. Just nothing. It's just warming up too quick, and the sun's coming out and beating on it. So Ain't much you can do. Enjoy it while you see it. It's amazing the sounds a creek can make. It almost sounds like static on a radio. Or a piece of equipment. So we're right here, we're a little, you kind of got to mind your P's and Q's because the trail actually goes up these steps. You can see your blaze up there and does not go up the old roadbed. So I believe there's another turn just like this or very similar on the other side of Justus Creek. So you always have to watch for your blazes. This came out of that vegetation tunnel into these thickets. Little grove of young trees. And a big old pine. There's a monster tree there. Looks like a hemlock maybe. Some big ones down through here. And here's the creek down to our left. So we're probably getting close to Justus Creek. I can't really tell what did this digging. I'm inclined to believe not a hog, and the reason why is because there's not a whole bunch of other digging around it. Something dug into there pretty hard, but I don't see any real claw marks either, so I don't know that it was a bear. Maybe those are some claw marks right there going vertically, but it's hard to tell. Nothing real pronounced. Looks like some feet pad imprints right there, so I don't know, maybe a coyote, I don't know. A little camping area. Here we are, casting our long shadows. We head down these steps to the creek. Got here a little quicker than I thought, but there's no real serious climbing or anything coming this way, so consequently it's pretty easy hiking getting here. Yeah, got camping area and Justus Creek. We're going to take a little break. Back up the stairs. That double track's beaten out pretty good. My guess is there's some camping spots in there somewhere. Thought I heard some people on the other ridge. There they go. Looks like they might have fishing poles. I can't tell really. Making their way down to the creek. So this camping area up here, and we're just up above the creek still. It's known as Devil's Kitchen. I don't really know why. I'm sure there's a story there though. Yeah. I've never actually walked up there, but somewhere up in there. Trail goes in right here actually, so somewhere over there. Well, that was a little bit of a climb getting out of the creek bed. Whew, that's blood going. I had to take this shirt off while I was down there and didn't, because I'm already starting to get kind of warm. But we'll see how long I can stand it. This mix of pine straw and oak leaves and stuff kind of always reminds me a little bit of home. Of course, I grew up in flat country for the most part, but still kind of reminds me a little bit of it. Thinking about my cousin Gene today as I'm out here, because he's not feeling good this weekend back home. He's been suffering and battling a tumor they're trying to use some radiation to take care of, and I believe he's got some other issues with cancer going on too. I really hadn't thought a lot about it. I do occasionally, but really more so this weekend out here, how much I bring him with me. When we were kids and you went in the woods, Earl Jim was somebody you wanted to have with you. He just knew so much, learned so much from his dad and his older brother, and he just he could tell you some things. I learned a lot from him going into the woods, to the point where I could go into the woods and do now with a great deal of confidence as far as the woods are concerned. I don't have a lot of anxiety when I go into the woods. I mean, I'm mindful of, you know, bears and snakes and so forth, but I'm not, I don't think to myself when I'm in the middle of nowhere, what would I do if this or that? I feel confident that I could probably get myself out of something if I got myself into something. And a lot of that comes from Gene, because that's the way he is. He goes into the woods, he has the absolute confidence. If he wants to go in and kill something, he's going to do it. If he's hunting, if he wants to go in and out to do something else, he's going to do it. And he was always just at home in the woods. That's where he grew up. So probably don't say thank you enough, but thanks a lot, Earl Gene, for passing that on to me. My dad wasn't around when I was little, and I looked to aunts and uncles and cousins and things like that for some of my lessons, and it came to being out here in the woods. Earl Gene was a big part of that, him and his dad. And me and my cousin Dennis and Earl Gene were peas and carrots, running around the woods, shooting squirrels and walking back to the river, middle of the night, and fishing. Just so many things I learned about the land from hanging out with those two. I didn't notice this before when I hiked through. In fact, I probably trampled right over it. But this is hair. Something met its demise here. It's a little bit more right here. Yeah. Something done come through there and had a little dinner. As long as it ain't me that's being the dinner. Now, if you look at this tree here, clearly it's not going all the way to the ground. That's because it's hung up in the tree. And it looks like it may have came from right there. Maybe it snapped off and then hit and then swung down. Hanging in like a hair in a biscuit. Got a nice little cascade running down there. Big old tree too. We'll make our way down to the creek crossing here. There we go. Beautiful creek crossing. Thankfully, with some big rocks we can use. Here we are at the shelter turnoff. We didn't film this earlier, but we'll stop in now. Over there we can see our cables. And they went ahead and put a bear box in. This is not a trash can. Sadly, people tend to use it as one. 2 tents per pad. Won't be long if through hikers will start coming through. But yeah, they got a few places closed off, clearly to let some vegetation come back. And this is a Gooch shelter. More tent and water and privy and all back that way. Now we're getting ready to head out. Sounds like we got some company coming too, so somewhere out there. There we go. Maybe a pilgrims there hiking earlier, I thought had fishing poles. I think they were just their trekking poles. So John and Shannon were telling me this area right here was hit pretty good when Irma came through, and these oaks came down primarily because they were laden with acorns. So a lot of oaks apparently came down, and it was tough on the deer and I guess the bear because so many oaks were down. It also meant that they lost a lot of acorns. So the deer have to find food elsewhere. Part of life. Some scat. Black scat. And big, so very well could have been a bear. Several days old though. A lot more snow on this side here. It's probably been in the shade, if not all day, the vast majority of the day. I'm keeping my eyes peeled for the old shelter pad. So I don't know how good the camera will pick it up, but we'll walk up in there. Got the sun kind of in your eyes here. This is the old shelter pad John was telling me as we walked through here earlier today. Apparently up until 2001, the shelter was here. Could be that that tree took it out. Still probably a lot of memories of this old shelter. Pretty cool. Back at the Gooch. It was a little bit harder coming back than going out. Yeah, Gooch Gap. Definitely more elevation coming back this way. A little more climbing. Nothing too steep, but enough to get you a little bit breathing. Now about winded. Yeah, old Silver down yonder. Other folks parked around. It's a real popular camp spot. Here we are. All right, short little hike to Justus Creek is done. Gooch Gap to Justus. Good little hike. It's good to see John and Shannon again. Hadn't seen them since Bucky the deer back several years ago, and kind of sad to know today I haven't seen him, and if anybody would have, it probably would have been them. So anyway, we're gonna make our way out of here.